Yeah, they used to do stuff.
But they're working on a movie now that one of their actresses, one of the voice actresses, like left because like the Lasser thing, and it was like an actual named actress. I just don't remember.
And see, that's what's really, really funny because I probably did know this, but my memory
Is shot.
shot.
Yeah, you probably did.
I've forgotten things. I'm surprised I remember what I had for dinner, and that was just 2 hours ago.
Yes, Skydance, they've done like Mission Impossible Fallout.
So we should be live.
Yeah, we're live.
Oh,
Okay,
hey,
good.
hey everybody.
Yeah. All right, so we ready to start this thing?
Yeah.
Sure. On this episode of the Culture Smash Cast,
Wild Stallions ride again. Excellent.
Fox gets eaten by a mouse.
Love, death, and robots. All you need is this show. Do it.
that's what
What?
you
I was gonna say all you need is kill, but then I was like,
that's what you have.
That would have been bad. Yeah,
That's
You could have gone with all you need is love, death, and robots.
wow.
That would've been
That's
better.
what you could have done.
damn it!
All right, pause. Let's go back. We're gonna edit. We're gonna fix it in post.
Nope. No take back.
It's gonna be done. It gotta be fixed in post. This is gonna go for the blooper reel, everybody.
This is gonna be good in post, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be fixed in post.
Yeah, totally.
We'll get it in
gonna do
post.
that. Gonna do that. It's a Culture Smash Cast, episode 488 for what is the date? Is this
The
right?
20th.
March the 20th.
You had that part right.
2019. I don't have the box office right, so I'm not surprised if the date would have been wrong.
I looked. I was making sure.
Okay,
It
thank
is
God.
2 days before my birthday. Trust me, I know what
Nice.
day it is.
Well, I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of CultureSmash.tv. Since it's 2 days before your birthday, who are you?
I am Tina Heimbach, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
Zach Martin, I'm tired.
Yeah, that's
That's
I'm
yeah.
tired.
He
That's an
contributes to
accurate
nothing.
statement.
Well, we don't know that that's an accurate statement. That's just Zach being a baby.
No, I could tell. He's pretty tired.
I'm tired.
All of our...
Exactly.
I'm used to Zach. I'm used.
to a new job can be different.
We're used to Zach whining by now, so we can kind of tell the difference.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. So what'd you guys do for St. Patrick's Day?
I actually did stuff at home. I made Scotch eggs for breakfast, and then I made fish and chips for dinner.
What is Scotch eggs?
It's basically hard-boiled eggs covered with sausage. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you
and
bread
then
them and deep fry them?
breaded. Yeah.
Well, I didn't deep fry mine. I did them in the oven,
Yeah.
but still,
Because
bread
we're trying to
it.
be healthy.
Well, right, deep frying them with,
But we also, speaking of being healthy, we also went to the park and did some Pokemon.
Yeah, we did
I
a lot
saw
of
the
Pokemon.
Pokemaning. I did see that on Facebook.
I got 6 Rayquazas
Nice.
by the end of it.
Walked a lot. I got sunburn.
I saw that.
Yeah.
You put up a post, something like
we went both
Pokemon Tools of the Trade or something.
We went Saturday and Sunday, and it was Saturday. At some point, I got home. I like scratched the back of my neck and felt pain, and it's like, oh my god.
He says it's sunblock, but he got blasted on by a Pokemon.
That's probably true.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
So Steven, what did you do?
Oh, what did I do? So Zach and I went out with the Nathan,
Sorry.
contributor to the show. Nathan was like, "We should go out and have some cocktails." It was
This didn't go.
It
well.
was either 5 or 6 vodka tonics later.
Excuse me, it was 3. Yeah, I'll go with 3 vodka tonics, and then we go out to the club, and then it was you got 2 more or 3 more.
3 more.
Oh, you guys went to play, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is what
It was
happened.
awesome.
Yeah, well, it was. It was good. We had a good time.
I mean, out of the gay bars, I do like play the best.
We actually like in that area. We like canvas the best. Zach and I do, because we're not trying to do anything except have good cocktails, and they have good drinks and they're cheap.
Yeah.
But they got a weird thing going now. So I have just a regular ID because I don't drive.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have an expiration date. Well, they wouldn't let us in because my ID
Oh,
didn't have an
they
expiration.
would let me in, but they would.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me in. Essentially. So
yeah, you're so youthful.
right. Hey, listen, I am. So
he's 18 to me.
yeah, so we just skipped it and walked down to the next one. And the thing is we ended up having 3 cocktails there, and we had a couple more at Nathan's. But the thing is, when you have a cocktail at Nathan's,
It's not just a cocktail.
it's like mostly vodka.
Yeah.
And then this is what happened.
That seems.
I missed-
seems like exactly how
I
we would
missed
mix
it at least once. Zach missed it once that I know of. He caught him one time, but he missed it the other time. Is when you're not looking, Nathan gets the vodka bottle. It just hits your cup.
So you take a sip and you go like,
What the?
That sounds entirely exactly what Nathan would
Which
do.
is why Nathan is one of the people I do not trust to drink with.
Yeah, well, you could drink with him. Just don't let him mix your drinks.
Yeah.
No, like
Mix-
if I don't trust you around my drinks, whether it's like in a creepy way or in a I don't trust you to make a good drink, I'm not gonna drink with you.
But
Yeah.
we weren't out just partying the night away for the funsies of it.
No,
We were celebrating.
we were celebrating. Zach and I were celebrating because once again, our movie sold out.
Yep.
Across the board, sold out again. So stuff is one or two of the places is back up. I think Barnes and Noble they have been replenished and they have more.
Yes.
Amazon is still a month wait minimum
1 to 2 months.
to order because they are still sold out. So yeah, it was a big night for us because that happened again. Plus, I got the official notice from, and I think this may have been why Nathan had to drink a little extra because I got the official notice from Amazon that Dramatique, our previous documentary, will be up digitally on Prime by the end of the week.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we were celebrating those things, and Nathan was like,
Well, that's because Nathan doesn't want to be sober when people can watch that.
"It's
Yeah.
true." He was.
Shots of vodka.
So what I'm hearing is I'm gonna get a really nice birthday present from you guys.
You know what?
Come over here and get it. We got a big old party.
I tell you what, you will get an excellent birthday party present.
Birthday party present.
Yeah, but you need to pay off my student loans first. Then we'll
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not paying off your student loans, but anyway, yeah. So we Zach actually had a hangover Sunday.
Aww.
Good.
Well, I mean,
It's good. It's
That's how you should go into
Yeah.
St. Patty's
I
Day.
felt like garbage and I woke up with a slight headache. But you know what helped it? Was it 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning here watching Doom?
yeah. We got back
Trying
here
to sober up.
and we were both pretty hammered, so we put Doom in and watched it here in the theater.
Survive.
Happy St. Patrick's Day for whatever that means.
Now I will say I didn't get to do my my St. Patrick's Day tradition, which is I usually watch Boondock Saints, but
You can still watch it some other time, though.
yeah,
We own it.
yeah.
Hey, Zach, will you turn that camera just a tiny bit so that it's a little bit more Tina's direction? She's getting chopped off a little bit.
Good.
And you just have to scoot up at the table like a grown-up.
And while we're doing that,
We're letting you.
While we're doing that,
movies came out this
well,
week.
before we do that,
You're right.
we got to talk about social. Let me pinch you in here. Here, Tina, you're like the cute one at the table. You model it. While Zach puts his butt right in front of it.
Oh yeah.
So social is a sake-based alcoholic beverage, kind of like a sparkling wine. Has 4% alcohol, so you're not going to get. What is it? Captain Rice says, "Wick a white girl wasted" when you
you're
have
not
drinks
gonna
with
get
it.
a white girl wasted.
It's only 88 calories also, so you're not going to get all like bloated and chunked up from drinking. It doesn't feel like eating
It has-
a piece of bread, like
Yep.
drinking beer.
It has 3 delicious flavors. Right now, I am holding the pink grapefruit ginger. There's also the toasted almond and coconut, and then
And, cucumber
the
hibiscus.
Cucumber hibiscus.
And it's also gluten-free. So if you're one of those people that's allergic or just avoiding it, you can do that there. 88 Social is the way to find it on social media, socialenjoyments.com. You can go and get it online. It's probably available at your local eatery. It's pretty much everywhere now. Did you know we have a place downtown that has it on tap?
Really?
Where?
Yeah, K-Bob's. over
Oh,
by the
yeah,
theater.
I know
They have it on
K-Bob's.
tap. Yeah.
Social, the drink that makes you talk.
Wow.
It's not the same.
I don't know. That's particularly
Hold on,
happening.
do it one more time.
See, that would have been better if
Social,
we just took
the
that.
drink that makes you talk.
That's slightly better.
Choke.
And then it's gone. All the
Yeah,
good
exactly.
Can't handle his liquor.
That's right. Well, mine has a little bit of social, has some whiskey and some lime juice in it too.
Excuses.
Does not come that way.
It does not come that way. You have to handle that business on your own.
Yep.
All right, so let's get the box office for the past weekend.
Number 10, we have Green Book. It has made $1.2 million. It has made 82.6 so far out of a $23 million budget. Number 9 is Alita, Battle Angel.
Garbage.
It's
yes.
1.
You love it.
1.9 million. It's made 81.8 million out of a $170 million budget.
Garbage.
You love it.
Number 8 is the Lego Movie 2, the second part. It's at 2.1 million. It's made 101.3 so far. We don't know the budget, and it's probably more than that.
This one won't die.
Yeah.
Number 7, Captive State, new this week at 3.1 million, and that's all it's made. We don't know the budget for that
I
one.
want to see that, but I heard now that it's bad.
I heard that it was. I've heard like middling things. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have like a good feel one way or the other.
Right.
Number 6, No Manches Frida 2. I don't think I've even heard about this
What
one.
the-
But it's also new this week at 3.8 million. and we don't know on that one either.
This is a
Yes.
foreign language.
Well,
So that's
I would
impressive
assume
that it's at number 6 in the box office, but it's also a sign of
how bad things are going in the theater.
From what I gathered from the trailers that I've seen, it's not foreign language because it's all in English.
just like an indie film.
Yeah.
No, it's foreign language on Box Office Mojo.
The trailers are in English. And it's not like it's dubbed.
Did they have
over
British
or anything.
accents? Because
It just says comedy. There's like barely anything else.
Yeah, it's basically like
and
I
this
said,
is
from
on
what I've gathered,
IMDb.
it's like,
What I'm able to get.
people are getting married and the
It's Spanish
bride
it says
is
it's
like,
Spanish
oh,
with
I'm so
English
glad that my
subtitles.
future husband is loyal to me, but the future husband is a scumbag. So the bridesmaids decide to prove it.
Oh,
all right,
It's weird. It's a Spanish film.
Yeah.
that's funny. How little press it seems like it's gotten.
Yeah, because I've
done that
never
well
even heard about it.
financially.
Yeah. Number 5, Tyler Perry's A Medea Family Funeral at $7.8 million. That's made $58.8 so far. We don't know the budget.
That is a Nathan movie. If
It
there
is
ever was
probably not more than that money.
one. It can't be.
No.
Supposedly, this is the last one.
Supposedly,
Also.
we'll see. Number 4,
Tyler Perry can't keep himself out of drag, and you know it.
yeah,
Medea's going to make an appearance somewhere else because he wants to make that check.
Well, maybe.
yeah. Number
blame
4,
him?
How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, the third and final How to Train Your Dragon movie, $9.2 million. It's made $135.5 million out of a $129 million budget, so it's made its money.
So I'm super annoyed about that. By the way, I was in Best Buy and they have 1 and 2 in Steelbook now.
How much was that?
$24
Ow!
Together or each?
each.
Okay, that makes
Well,
sense.
but the 4K outside of the Steelbook is $27.
I know.
It's actually a better deal.
You know,
I paid
don't wanna
$15
have to
bucks each.
Do you know what I paid for those? I paid day one prices for those 1080p Blu-rays.
All right, continue.
Ow! That's why.
All right, number 3, new this week. We got a lot of new movies, just nothing that
good.
great. 5 Feet Apart. It made $13.1 million, and that's what it's got so far out of an unknown budget, which honestly can't be more than that.
All right.
All right, number 2, we have Wonder Park, new animated movie. It is at $15.8 million. Don't know the budget. Definitely more than that. And
Who's the director of that film?
I don't know who the director of Wonder Park
Is it your boy?
Who knows?
No, it's no boy. There's no director.
There's no director.
It probably
What?
is Zach's boy. He's been hiding.
Director on Wonder Park.
How is there no director?
There is no director. on
Yeah, the
Wonder
director
Park.
pulled his name from it, and it hasn't been replaced as far as we can tell.
The director pulled their name? Why?
Well,
Wasn't
because
there
it
controversy
sucks.
and then they got pulled out of it?
Or was he Me Too'd? Is that what
I
it
think
was?
Me Too.
Oh.
Was he?
I
And then
think.
the company pulled it, and it feels like the producers just finished the movie.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, that's really what
That's
it feels like
fascinating.
because it was toward the end of production,
There was no Alan Smithy on this.
right?
production.
And I was looking for the Alan Smithy.
Man, I'm not even in the photo. How can you? I'm not even in the picture.
Well, it's because it's me reading.
Yeah, it's because he's reading. I'm zooming
So
in.
I'll finish it up.
Yeah.
So
I looked over. I'm like, oh,
number 1, Captain Marvel. Again at number 1. This weekend made $67.9 million. So far, it has made $264.8 million. We don't know the budget.
Wow.
Probably a little less than that.
200 or 250 is probably what you.
Okay, this is really funny. Michelle, instead of messaging me on the YouTube page, she just texted me directly. She said, "Are you having a Moscow Mule?" And I'm having my own version of a Tennessee Mule.
Didn't we say that?
I don't think I named it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So Wikipedia guesstimates that the budget is anywhere between 152 to 175.
So would you call it your very own
Okay.
jackass?
So
Yeah, well, no, that's Zach.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, those are the movies.
So this week, let me just talk about this for just
we
a second.
finally get movies.
We
to see
finally
this
get something.
week.
Oh, speaking of that, there's been all this stuff. Everybody loves to write articles and talk about how the movie theater chains are suffering. No one's going to the movies anymore. All this stuff.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Well, but listen, here's the funny thing about it. I was reading an article somewhere that was like kind of like the honest situation in regard to film is when you look at the year-over-year drop of who is going to the theater and the number of tickets being sold and all this stuff, and you compare that to the number of movies that come to the theater versus then, it levels out because we have twice as many movies now in theaters as we had 10 and 15 years ago. And that makes sense to me, although most of what we've had so far this year has been terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that you really think of it, there's a few new movies every week, and that wasn't always the case.
Yeah.
You would
it used to
have
be like a
couple times a month you'd have big movie releases, and that'd be it.
Yeah, and then you'd have a weekend where nothing was coming out.
I mean, I remember when a movie like The Italian Job remake was in the theater for 6 months.
I remember.
I remember when Jurassic Park Lost World. I mean, it would never leave that theater.
Yeah. So I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
But this weekend we have at least one good thing. I only have 2 movies really on the list. There's some other small movies coming out, but Us, the Jordan Peele
the
horror film, opens this week. It's 98% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Hell yeah!
And the word is amazing.
Yeah.
I am going to try and sneak out early on Friday and see it. Maybe first show Friday.
Like, I know you, me, and Curtis are going to see it March 30th, but I probably...
I want to see it.
Before.
Yeah.
I really want to go with a small crowd because I'm afraid it could be ruined.
Yeah.
Gloria Bell is at 94% of Rotten Tomatoes.
That's the new Julianne Moore, right?
Yeah.
It's an A24.
It is an
looked at
A24.
the trailer
And it was like, man.
It's got 24%.
Yeah, we just saw the trailer the other night, and I was like, oh, new Julianne Moore, because I love Julianne Moore, but just, I don't know, dude. It doesn't really grab me. All right, so let's talk about some stuff. So literally, right after last week, after the show,
it was
the
hilarious.
new Avengers Endgame trailer dropped. We were texting each other and blowing up each other's social media about it. So, thoughts? What are we thinking?
I like that I don't know.
You don't know
Actually, yes. I know that we don't know what's happening.
Yeah. The only thing I know for certain is Thor is definitely shipping Captain Marvel and Valkyrie.
I really...
what?
Shipping together Captain Marvel and Valkyrie.
He's like, I found my friend, girlfriend.
I really like what Zach said, that we don't know what is happening in this movie.
All I know is this is the next one.
Yeah.
And that maybe
There's some
Iron
cool
Man
scenes.
he's in trouble at
He's
the
in
start
spa-
of the film. And
He's in
they're
space.
gonna get together.
We don't see Iron Man in space.
That's all I know.
Yep. When it's like Iron Man's in space, we know there's some sort of time jump-ish just by Black Widow's hairstyling changing constantly. But that's it. That's all we know about the movie.
I will say, I saw a fan art. You know how Hawkeye has the new hairstyle,
It's the
right?
mohawk.
So somebody put Thanos snapping, and then the size of his hair disappeared. He's like,
wow,
no!
that's hilarious. So one thing that I had read somewhere, and I think Zach mentioned it tonight too when we watched the trailer again, is that it's confirmed that there are things in the trailer that aren't in the movie.
Yeah.
Now, I love that. Normally, that makes me very annoyed.
Usually it's a whole scene or a whole shot that's like, where was that in the movie?
Well, the one that always comes to my mind is that X-Men movie, which was the X-Men where there was that real powerful confrontation between Professor X and Wolverine in the trailer. It's the one where Professor X is unconscious or something, and Kitty Pryde goes back in time or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that
Days
was
of Future
Days of
Past.
Future Past.
Yeah.
I know which
so
one
there's
you're
a
talking
great moment in the trailer that's not in the movie at all, and that made me so mad because the version that's in the movie is subpar.
I think the difference is when it's done just because the people cutting the trailer are just not the same people as cutting the movie, and they go in different directions, versus what I think the Russo brothers and Disney
They're
are
protecting their movie.
They were doing this is on
Special
purpose.
gloves are on.
Yeah, this is on purpose. It is pointed. Like
Now-
every scene in that movie, I guarantee Russo brothers are like, we made the trailer. That's why this trailer isn't coming out until just a month before the movie.
Right?
We made
now,
the trailer.
if I was a guessing man, they could literally with that trailer call it Avengers Endgame, subtitle whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I would be willing to wager that they don't say it that many times in the movie.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's one of the things that was added, but. Damn, is it powerful? I text you. I said I want a shirt that says Avengers,
because I immediately followed up. It's like, where do you put the Avengers A? Is it on the whatever or the takes?
Right? I don't know. I don't know.
Speaking of things that are said in the trailer that don't make it to the movie, when I think of things that trailer versus movie miss out on, I always think of the movie Stay Alive, where it's
That was on HBO last night.
Yeah, where it's like the video game, and if you die in the game, you die for real.
And they never had that line in the movie.
No, they cut it off in the middle of that line. It's like, don't think like that. If you die in the game, you die. You can't be thinking like that. And we were so angry.
That's
The
hilarious.
group of us that we had watching that movie, we were just like,
See, I always think of an Austin Powers. The first
Yeah.
Austin Powers had that. There was this like trailer in one of the trailers, like it's him on the plane talking with the stewardess, and it's like we can't call them something or whatever because it's like that was not in the movie at all.
And that one's so funny because sometimes I think legitimately it's not on purpose. I think what happens is they pull clips from an early draft of the
Yeah.
film,
That's
and then when Final Cut happens, they've replaced or taken out.
Oh yeah.
And with a movie like Austin Powers, I feel
that.
that because he ad-libs so much.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
You know, they probably had 120 different funny options they could have picked from.
But to be honest, this is definitely a unique situation just based on the strength of the franchise. Because one, they don't really need to pitch this movie all that much, and two, the Russo brothers have so much.
They can come out with a trailer that just says, like a black screen, and go, "Get ready."
Yeah, they
Avengers Endgame.
And then everybody
no,
was
no,
like, we're
black screen.
ready!
It says
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame. Runtime 3 hours. Cut to like May 27th.
It needs
And
one.
that's
It needs one thing. It needs one thing. It needs the Sylvester theme.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wish
that's it.
this
Just
was-
put it on
I
silent.
put it on. I put the volume down.
Does
Put
the old
it
man
down
not have
on
food
silent.
silent?
Or don't put it on the table so it's not buzzing the table that the
I
mic
think-
is on.
And Michelle is texting me because she's in a device where she can't see this.
Michelle, keep texting us
Stop that.
till he learns his lesson.
All right, now it's done.
You know, I could break it. I could throw it up against
You-
the wall
you
because
could-
I know somebody who could fix it.
Actually,
Well, but-
I don't have access to this.
I was gonna say, you know, that is a problem. So the other thing is, I hope this starts a trend. I would love to see trailers that don't
Here's-
have things.
again,
from
though,
the
I-
film.
I
This is
don't
a
think-
double-edged sword, because you're gonna have some people that do it right and do it horribly
But
wrong.
Yeah.
here's the thing. I don't
But
think
that happens now.
I think it may start a very small trend that will end very quickly because people will be doing it wrong. Because again, this is a unique situation because of the strength of the franchise and the control over it that the Russo brothers have. You don't have this in any other franchise.
It's true.
I mean, unless you're, I guess you could have it in a more auteur situation, like one of the trailers we have down the line. But otherwise, major Hollywood movies, this isn't going to be.
It's
a
the
thing.
marketing companies usually
Yeah.
cut the trailers.
But again, this is got the Russo fingerprints all over it.
I mean,
They-
I don't know
they-
this for a fact, but it wouldn't surprise me if they have semi-final or final cut on their films. I think Kevin Feige really has the final say.
Yeah. But
But-
I'm sure they're working so close together that it doesn't almost matter. But and I'm sure like Feige definitely probably has final say over the like trailers. How paranoid Marvel Cinematic Universe is. I'm sure.
Well,
That
and
this
you
is
know,
not-
that's what I
This
love
is
about-
not just going to market.
That's the one great thing about Kevin Feige, though, is he wants to market
Yeah.
and knows the need for marketing and does marketing, but he also is a comic book guy.
Yeah.
And he knows not to spoil the end. Don't
yeah.
spoil the end. I saw a trailer the other day again for something else where they literally show you every moment of the film.
Was it a Sony film?
It probably was. I
Well,
don't remember.
I mean, I remember
wasn't
the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movie. It was like
Yeah.
Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Like, the moment before the climax, you're going to show me. And I'm like...
And it was, I believe last year, Infinity War had this whole campaign where it's like all the actors like, don't spoil. And
Yeah.
just like did video, don't
Can
spoil.
you imagine if that got leaked out? Like, a clip? I'm not
From
saying,
the ending of
No, I'm
Infinity
saying,
War?
like, you know, it got leaked out like 2-3 months before. It's like, hey, here's a shot of someone dissolving.
Oh man, that would have been
That
so.
would have been...
That would have been awful.
But you know what would have
That
been,
would've been
you know how it
horrible.
would have happened is I wouldn't have seen it, Tina wouldn't have seen it, Nico wouldn't have seen it,
I'm
but you
saying-
would have seen it.
Yeah, I would have
We
seen
would
it.
have
And you
told.
would have spoiled it.
Because you would have been
No,
looking
I'm saying,
for it.
like, they put like one of those shots in the trailer, like one of the final trailers.
Oh, I got you.
I'm not saying that you
No,
see the full dissolve. I'm
yeah.
saying you see the reaction to like some of the dust particles.
Yeah,
just
no one
be
needs
like,
that.
Someone's gonna
No.
like.
No one
why
needs
even
that.
Bother.
Well, that's the good thing about CGI. You just don't put that in yet.
Exactly. So speaking of doing it right or doing it wrong, let's talk about Toy Story 4, the new trailer for this
Okay,
film.
can we just disclaimer? Disney is really bad at these trailers.
You mean
Well, this branch
This-
is Disney.
Yeah.
branch? Yeah, because we just talked about a fantastic trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's Marvel. I'm talking about
Pixar.
Disney.
I don't know.
Pixar.
I know
Pixar.
exact
Bad
things. What did you
trailers.
guys think of the
So-
Toy Story 4 trailer?
I thought it looks like a competent Toy Story movie. I think it's like, okay, you know, the characters are here. It doesn't look quite as phoned in as I kind of felt like it would be. It feels like it has some of the emotional heart there. I'm like, okay, good. I can get behind that. But again, I mean,
I've seen Toy Story 2, thank you.
yeah, and
I've seen Toy Story 3, thank you, which
Yeah.
was a repeat of Toy Story 2.
Not true.
better
but
than Toy Story 2.
better than
Way
yeah.
better than Toy
No,
Story 2.
I'm saying
But-
plot-wise, it was
It
similar.
was an upgrade.
But still, and
So
I
I've
don't think
seen
this.
trailer,
I also
go,
don't think
oh,
this is
it's
going
Toy
to be.
Story 2 again.
I also don't think this would be an upgrade. One, okay, let's get over the lost toy. Let's get over
Yeah.
the toy gets left behind. Okay, that's
And
that's
there's-
that's
been done.
everything.
Every kid loses a toy. Like,
Yeah.
it happens.
I think the concept of playing around with this whole, you created a toy and now it has life. I think that is a fascinating thing to go in because
Maybe.
that's what
I hate the look of the toy. I hate the look of the
I'm fine with
toy.
that.
But
You know,
the
I
thing is,
made
it
way
looks
better
like-
toys when I was a kid. I
Same.
didn't, so I can't argue with that.
So let's get morbid. They should have taken one of the little green soldier guys and done it the way kids do now, and just took a X-Acto knife and shaved the crap out of him and made him into something
God.
else.
No, that was
Yeah.
that was the bad guy in the first one. That was Sid.
Yeah.
But no, it does show like the whole movie. I felt like I watched everything already.
Yeah, it's like
Or at
we
least
were
2/3.
talking earlier.
Yeah.
It feels like it's going to be so predictable.
I don't feel like. I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't feel like I need to.
We're gonna
I don't feel,
watch it,
I don't
yeah.
feel driven. I'm not is engaged in
Is
this.
this
one.
is this going to be like another Lego movie, like the Lego
I
movie
better
sequel?
see
It's
like
like meh.
95% Rotten Tomatoes and like absolutely
I'm
phenomenal
going
word
to
mouth
see it
that
out of
everyone says
obligation.
this
I'm not
trailer
seeing
was
it
Yeah.
out of hype.
Yeah, like commitment
Yeah.
to the
Yeah, it's
franchise.
like
yeah. Because I love the first one. I like the second one, and I
love
love the third one.
Yeah.
The third one is right there with the first one for me. So, it's
I
like-
like the first one. I love the second one, and the third one's okay.
You're like the
The third one's better.
only
than the
one I
second
know that it's like second one.
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, because everyone was. Did you cry at the end of the third one?
Yes.
Did you cry at the end of
Yes.
the third one? Did you?
No, I have no emotions.
I didn't.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, I didn't
And
even cry at
everyone-
the beginning of Up.
And the
Tina
fact
doesn't
that-
have
you-
tears.
are you
And
happy
Chase
to
the
be
Deer
in the
was
same
looking at her
space
going,
as Zach?
"Crying."
Really?
She doesn't have emotions, so how
Really?
would she be happy?
I cry when it's dragons or cats.
That's true. that is the only time she ever has tears.
But like seriously,
Wow.
it's like me
Avengers.
and my friend were just looking at her going, "Everybody's crying at the end of this. Why aren't we feeling this?" And we're just like, "Whatever."
No, that's how, like, when I went to go see Up, people were, like, sniffling, and I'm sitting there at the beginning of the movie just like,
You
Okay.
heartless.
I told you I had no emotion.
Wow.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
I think we
That's
got.
impressive.
That's shocking.
You know what else is shocking?
What's that?
Once Upon a Time in
That's
Hollywood.
not shocking.
Okay,
at
so
all.
wait, before Zach says anything, because this is boy.
That's my boy.
He is his
Good
boy.
boy.
Oh no!
What do you-
Oh no!
what
It's
do you
gonna be
guys-
awful now.
He has got to make a bad film. Shut up.
Yeah.
Is that
So did
true?
all your boys until you called him your boy.
It's true.
He's my boy.
Good point. Good
That's still
point.
like, you just did
Good
it again.
point. I said that. I said to him earlier. You jinxed the film. You blew it. So, what do you guys think this movie's about? We looked at the trailer.
Like I thought this was like
It's
his
called
Charles
Once Upon a
Manson
Time
movie.
in Hollywood.
Yeah.
No. I think it's going to be a raunchy, kind of like a buddy cop story, but actor / stunt actor.
Yeah, is it like the actor, stunt actor going to go tackle Charles Manson in an alternate history, kind of like Inglourious
Is it?
Bastards? No, I don't know. What?
Because that's the funny thing is because the word of mouth about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Well, this is exactly the reaction. Is we looked at the trailer and I knew that there was the whole Sharon Tate thing.
Yeah.
And that's what everything had been
That's
promoted.
Margot Robbie, isn't it?
It is
Yeah.
Margot Robbie, who does not fill those shoes. I'm sorry.
No.
Well,
Shoot, no. But
I mean,
anyway,
they don't even get the hair color right. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
well, she needs,
that's
to do a lot
still,
of things.
it's
But I love her as
yeah.
an actress, so fine. But the thing is, I looked at Zach and I said, okay, this looks cool, but I was really anticipating his, Sharon Tate, Charles Manson thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Zach was like, this is it. I'm like, where?
Yeah.
Well, first off, when that came out, like Tarantino's doing a film about the Manson murders,
That wasn't.
and then it got revealed like
That was not what it
Tarantino
is.
came out and was like, "No, that's not what this is at all." I mean, maybe it'll happen.
It's not. It's not about the murders, no. But it is about Sharon Tate, and it's supposed to be about the house that she lived in, where the murders happened. She's supposed to be living there. There's a lot of things that coincide with that story, and the era is right.
It's a weird feel. I think if that idea never got across, it might look more interesting. But now I think everyone else watching the movie is like, "What is this movie? We don't understand."
Well, and
That
that's the
and
thing I
how-
feel from it is I'm like, I don't really know
but then
what it's
again-
about.
Now, if they try to go with the Manson route, it'll feel forced.
And
but-
I don't think they were ever going to go straight
yeah,
at Manson.
I
route.
think
But-
people just latch on to like Sharon Tate.
Uh-huh.
So, but I mean,
Yeah,
that could also be.
unfortunately, she gets overshadowed
Yeah.
because of what happened to her.
But that could be kind of what Tarantino wants. He could want that inquisitive nature about the movie. People are just
Maybe.
wondering, what is this movie?
I love Tarantino, and I have faith, but the whole thing just feels murky and weird right now. And I don't. It could be hilarious and weird and twisted and dark if the movie ends with her murder.
If we take that out of it, we take that context away from it, like the trailer itself looked entertaining.
It's snappy Tarantino.
I liked DiCaprio. I liked Pitt. I liked their back and forth. I love the idea.
I like that they had Pitt being the stunt actor.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love the Bruce Lee scene that they have.
The Bruce Lee scene is
the
great.
best.
Son, if you murder anybody in a fight,
You're
you're
going
going
to
to
jail.
jail.
It's called manslaughter.
And it looks like the fight scene, and Quentin Tarantino knows how to shoot kung fu. That's for sure. The fight scene looks great.
It looks good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I
I'll
love.
need another trailer.
I'll need
so.
more.
I
I
need
need
more time.
more.
I mean, I'll watch it.
Do you want my 2 cents?
Yeah.
Oh, Tarantino's making a film? I'm in.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why we didn't really need your 2
My
cents.
boy's making a film? Oh, boy.
Now, to be fair, I mean that's my ultimate feeling too. If he directed it, especially if he wrote it and directed it, but even if he directed
I
it,
don't care. I'm in.
I'm just gonna go. But that trailer is
We're gonna go. It's just gonna be bad now because Zach jinxed the movie.
exactly
My boy-
ruined it.
My boy always comes through.
Well,
Does
you know
he?
what? You know what the opposite.
You
of,
say Death Proof. Death Proof's great. What are you talking about?
You know what the opposite of bad is?
What's the opposite of that?
Excellent.
Oh, God.
Oh.
That's most excellent news.
Well, we're not
right.
gonna- Okay, well, something
Alex
hilarious.
Winter and Keanu Reeves have announced that they will begin shooting Bill and Ted 3 this summer. The would-be rock and roll saviors will have a lot to answer for, apparently. Rumblings of a third film in the franchise have been happening for a few years, and earlier this year, those reports turned into a roar. Winter and Reeves announced...
Is that your
they-
roar?
Roar.
Yes.
I mean, it's either roar or rawr.
Rare. That's pretty funny.
Winter and Reeves announced in a video they expect to start filming Bill and Ted Face the Music. So, it will arrive to theaters on August 21st, 2020. Writer Ed Solomon previously said the long-rumored movie will find the Wild Stallions dealing with the fact they never actually got around to making their Earth-saving music. You know, the thing that was promised at the end of the second
We were
film.
promised. We were promised the music.
So,
I like that.
Music at the end of the first film. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
we were
Yeah,
promised.
I do like that concept though. That it was like, hey guys, you were supposed to do this thing. You never did it.
So it's supposedly going to focus on them middle-aged answering for their lack of...
The problem I have with this though is I wish it would just stay there, focus on them middle-aged, dealing with the repercussions of not following through with what they did. It would be a very interesting generational conversation too.
Yeah.
Compared to when the last movie came out, but that's
Yeah.
not what it does. It actually says it in the article. They go back in time to deal with their younger selves.
Yep.
And that part right there turns me off so badly.
Yeah, the way this franchise deals with time travel, I don't really have a problem with that. I would want to see implementation. I would want to see how it's kind of done.
Are they going to try to make them like CGI them up and make them look younger? I mean,
I
'cause-
hope not.
You know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't think it would. The age gap difference is so different, especially if you compare to like Samuel L. Jackson de-aged in Captain Marvel.
Marvel.
That
actually looked good.
That looked good, and it was just because they're not that much older.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still, middle-aged adult to slightly middle-aged adult, whereas this would be teenage, thin face, like no baby fat on
Yeah.
them, like kids.
Hardly any stubble like
Yeah.
at all.
To-
Now, I want to pose a question. Do you think...
Yes.
Shut up. Do you think it will split into an alternate timeline, or that they'll go back to the future and everything's...
I don't know. I feel like
Yes.
either one of them.
The answer is
could-
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It could be either
It's
one
both.
with this
No,
thing.
it's both. I
Do
say
you-
it's both.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. Do you think it's going to be one of those dumb things? Wait, we've seen this
Yes.
before.
Also yes.
In other films where they go back in time to deal with their younger selves, but they're doing things behind the scenes, so you never really see their younger selves. You like see them in silhouette or from behind or whatever.
Or like they go into a store and they come out from behind the store.
Kind of like in like Back to the Future 2, when Marty McFly goes back in time.
He
again.
doesn't really see himself, but
Yeah.
he does see himself kind of.
Yeah, no,
Do you think it could be that?
I think if they do it, I think it'll be so purposely done, to be that campy. Like I don't expect this to be like serious thought in time travel. It's
Right.
Bill and Ted, people.
Right.
It's
Well,
I expect
sadly,
time
their
travel-
mentor is passed
Yeah,
away.
see,
so.
that's the only thing I do have a problem with this movie, and it's not a problem with it being made. I just miss George Carlin.
Yeah.
But still, I will want to see this. I'll watch it. I'm all for it. I just want to see what they will do.
Because that
just so
actually made me
curious.
laugh at the end of the movie with George Carlin when he gets all like try to be all like hip with them and goes totally excellent and throws down on the guitar.
Yeah.
What's really funny though is Zach was gonna go see this movie.
What do you mean? I did go see.
I know,
the first
and he asked me
Wait.
about it, and I'm like, dude, listen.
So okay,
You mean the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our
The
house
original.
had a midnight movie of Bill and Ted's Excellent.
And I warned him. One, it wasn't of his generation, and two, it is a very generation-specific film. It's not going to hold up.
Holy crap! That movie sucks.
I knew it.
Fight me! It sucks.
I knew you weren't going to get
San
that.
Dimas
Do any
rules.
of you
Yeah.
remember when Pizza Hut did their buy a pizza, get a movie?
Yeah,
deal?
yeah. You can get the.
I have Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey in that little plastic paper
That's
sleeve.
awesome.
Now, granted, I also have it on.
I mean, heck, you
actual-
remember the
but I
animated?
still have
You
that.
remember the animated series?
Yes.
Because there was a cartoon like in between 1 and 2, or
Yes.
after
Really?
2. Yeah, it was a cartoon. It was like a season or something, but yeah,
Oh, wow.
and it was
I didn't know
them.
that.
It was Keanu Reeves and Alex Winters.
So the other side of me, the only other side of me, I done well. I would think I would enjoy this film, but the other side of me is Keanu Reeves is on such a good roll, action movie.
You know what? Let him have fun. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
He's
You know-
earned immensely so much goodwill with John Wick. Let him have
We
fun.
finally made up
Fair
from
enough.
the lake house.
I don't care. Yes, I would
Yeah.
say yeah. No, I love John Wick. You know what?
John Wick.
If,
John Wick.
if Keanu Reeves wants you I'm gonna go hang out with my old high school buddy Alex Winters, and we're gonna just go relive our college days,
at the
making
end-
it.
You're
new.
good with it.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right.
Hold on,
You
at
do
the-
you,
at the end of
Keanu
the
Reeves.
movie,
and Alex Winters.
What if
And
Bill
Alex
and
Winters.
What if Bill and Ted's dog gets killed?
Yes, that's the end of the movie.
If Bill and Ted 3 turned into John Wick 4, I'm also okay with that. Keanu Reeves.
I would be down with that.
I know you're watching / listening.
Always. Every
Okay.
week.
All right. So.
All right.
You know what the best
So
part
this.
about that movie was? They had alcoholic slushies. That was the best part of that whole
That
movie.
would
mean,
be
that's a
amazing.
good part.
That would be amazing.
All right.
So it's weird though. I'm not sure the purpose of the announcement video, because when I first got the link for the announcement video, I thought, oh, okay. So now we're gonna get the release date, or we're gonna get something pertinent. And at the end of it, it does say it does have a title comes up that says, coming summer 2020.
yeah.
But during the video, if you watch it.
They're very
they literally say hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully we're trying
Hopefully
to make
we're
it
making
done,
a movie
We
this summer.
might do this, and it's like, no, commit.
Yeah, so if you're not sure, then
I
why are
get
we
the-
looking at this video?
I get the feeling they were just playing coy. I hope at
They-
least, maybe.
Okay,
It kind of
maybe.
felt like, I don't know, it didn't. If that was their intent,
I'm not saying it
It
worked.
didn't-
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't go well.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll find out in summer 2020.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
All
Zach,
right, what's up?
All right. Well, if you haven't heard, which I doubt this group hasn't heard, James Gunn is
Like, we've
writing
talked about it
and
before.
directing DC's second Suicide Squad.
Zach's
the
favorite
sequel
franchise.
to the Academy Award
award-winning
winning.
Suicide Squad.
But you know what? Guess what? We're going from scratch.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Speaking with this article, Peter Serafan, who produced the DC films as of late, has made mention that Gunn's Suicide Squad should not be referred to it as a sequel to David Ayer's 2016 entry. Wow, it's been 3 years. As it is a total reboot. He went on as to say the title of the new project is The Suicide Squad. Kind of like The Final Destination. Will Smith is out because that was a great decision to get him the hell out of there. And Deadshot is now going to be played by Idris Elba. Though Gunn's film will see the return of Margot Robbie and Jared Leto. Really?
So
See,
that's the part
that's-
right there that
that's
makes
the-
it hard to feel like a reboot, because you're bringing some people back.
Well, that's why I said almost. It's
Yeah.
not like I get the impression that it's not a actual full reboot. That it's
So-
just basically going to kind of wipe
Is he gonna
over.
have damage written on his forehead still? Because that was so...
It-
Is he
I think-
trying to harass
I
the
get the-
other cast members like he did
Yeah,
during
I get the
first
feeling
one?
it's just going to kind of glaze over the events of the first movie. It's like,
So-
oh well, those whatever. Well, this is a new story.
I understand bringing Margot Robbie back.
Yeah, because she was like the
because-
star.
Yeah, but why are we getting Jared Leto back?
That-
No one
that's
liked
my
him.
point.
No one liked him
no,
or anything
no.
about what he did.
He was cringe lord. I felt bad for him I felt embarrassed for him.
I didn't
In
feel
the
embarrassed for him
theater.
because he did it.
No.
That was
No,
his decision.
I was
making.
watching it. I felt embarrassed for watching it. I felt embarrassed for him.
No, but yeah, I
But
don't.
it was his
An
fault.
accomplishment.
No.
I've seen bad acting going. I've seen this bad acting and went, oh my god. Oh no.
Well, it's like one of those things where it's
Yeah,
like,
but I had no sympathy for him, especially
That's what I
when,
mean.
Like the other cast members started like telling people what he was doing on set to them. Like, that's harassment to a whole different level. There's method acting, and then there's being a creep.
You method act yourself. Don't method act on other people.
And actually, I liked Will Smith in this. I thought he was fine.
I had no issue
He's
with
not
Will Smith.
Deadshot. No, he's not Deadshot.
I would hazard to say that this side of the table knows more about what Deadshot should be than you do. That's
a fair point. But no,
I played Batman Arkham Asylum.
I like Idris Elba. I'm okay with that as a choice. If there was never any Will Smith in the picture, I would have been fine
you
with
can
it.
just stop with I'm okay with Idris Elba.
Yeah,
I'm more than okay with Idris
although
Elba.
Some part of me really likes him as a villain, and I don't know why.
Good thing you get Hobbs and Shaw coming out soon.
Right. All right. So
I love that line. It's like, I'm the bad guy.
So, I have hope for it because I think that James Gunn is the right guy to create that kind of story.
You know who else thought?
Who else thought?
You know who else thought he was the right guy?
Who else?
Disney and Marvel.
Yes, well, they didn't,
but
now they do.
He's just been reinstated as the writer and director for Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Thank God.
The decision to hire James Gunn back after he was fired last July after an alt-right journalist made public some decade-old social media posts where he joked about pedophilia and rape, which were legitimately awful, crass, poor taste jokes that Gunn himself had since then, way before this came to light, disavowed and said, "Look, this is wrong. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done this. This is all bad."
And that was also done as part of trauma.
Yeah, that's part of trauma. Yeah, he was trying to be provocative.
Doing the job he'd been given.
Yeah, so it made sense, and he came out and said, "Look, it was wrong. It was in a bad place." So after that had happened, conversations had actually kept continuing with Marvel. Walt Disney Studios chairman Alan Horn met with Gunn on multiple occasions, persuaded by Gunn's public apology of the posts and his handling of the situation afterwards. They decided to reverse course and reinstate.
Now, I will say Gunn did do a really good job of handling his discharge gracefully.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he went on a smear campaign.
No, he never targeted Disney on this. He never, bashed them for firing him. He just basically went silent. He did his apology and then went off Twitter for months, which is probably the smartest thing to do.
Everyone should get off Twitter.
Yeah,
I love Twitter. Sometimes you just need to leave social media. That's just not just Twitter.
True.
I would rather drop Facebook in a heartbeat. But if you're worried about the aforementioned Suicide Squad story that we just mentioned, Marvel has agreed to not commence with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 until after Gunn completes Suicide Squad. It helps Marvel never met with or considered any other director, despite internet rumors stating otherwise. And prior to his dismissal, Gunn had already sent in a script which Marvel had already said that they were going to use.
So I think, while they say, it's because he, his public apology and all the things that he did convinced us to turn around, that may be a piece of it. But what the reality of it, what I think is a couple things. One, half his cast was dropping.
Yeah.
You already had
his entire cast signed that letter.
Having Chris Pratt gone is
it kills that franchise.
Yeah, it kills the franchise. So they knew that was going to happen. They would have to recast everyone, and on top of that, time. Just letting it sit and no one cares anymore. Okay, now let's bring it back. I think the time is the issue. That's really the thing, is people stopped talking about it, moved on to rip into somebody else, because it's the way we do on social media now.
Yeah.
See, my favorite...
And he was able to sort of slither back in.
My favorite conspiracy...
Get that
We're going into conspiracy corner right here.
Slither back in?
Is Warner Brothers...
Slither.
Knowing
because he did Slither.
Yeah, he did.
That movie's great.
Yeah, it is. So here's my conspiracy theory. So Warner Brothers, seeing how well Guardians 1 did, decided we're going to ape some of that style and retool our Suicide Squad movie so that way it kind of matches some of that. And it's like, okay, we saw the parts where we were able to do that seem to be the ones that came across probably the best of that movie. Marvel, can we secretly, under the table, throw boatloads of cash to you so you release Gunn to us? And it's like, well, okay, we'll fake fire Gunn so that you can use him, and then we'll hire him back. But that way he's outside of his exclusivity window, so you can get him, and then we still also have them.
So I don't buy that.
And while this happens, gives money to Disney so that Disney can then buy Fox.
That's quite a conspiracy
Have you
theory.
guys seen?
I'm not saying it's real,
Now,
but I'm not saying it's not.
What I do believe is it's some brilliant gameplay on his part.
Oh yeah.
Going right to the competition. Okay, I'm not going to rip into Marvel, but I'm going to go to your competition and make a movie that could be in the same space as Guardians, except make it good and make it better than what Guardians 3 could be without me. That's gameplay, and that's pretty awesome.
It's so hilarious how this happened. I just can't get over the humor I have here.
I was meh on Guardians 2, and I really was. I'm glad he's back.
I kind of viewed it as like when you break up with someone and to get over them, you go to someone else, but then 3 weeks later you get that maybe I miss you come back text.
That's usually not a healthy relationship, though. So I don't know if this is a good sign.
So the thing that we get out of this as fans is we get potentially 2 great films.
Yeah.
And
in the middle of all that, he made Brightburn. So that too.
Actually looks kind of good.
Yeah.
I'm interested. All right, cool. What's up?
And now that money, they
he wrote Brightburn. He didn't direct it.
yeah, still, but he
still,
had something
if
to
he
do.
wrote it.
But while that happens, so Warner Brothers send all that money over to Disney, so then they could officially buy 20th Century Fox, which as of 12:02 a.m. Eastern Time this morning, they officially own.
How
Saying,
crazy is
Mickey
that?
Mouse is getting really close to buying all the Infinity Stones right now.
So according to Variety, the deal for Disney buying Fox lands at around $71.3 billion. The downside, which is not to be understated, is it could result in up to 4,000 people losing their jobs because of all the studio consolidation.
It's a necessary evil.
Yeah, it's Disney thinks it is, and apparently it passed all the regulatory authorities, so it was okayed. So it's very unfortunate that with the consolidation, there will be people losing their jobs because you'll have double jobs. You won't need everyone doing everything. So that is sad, and hopefully those individuals will be able to recover. What will happen in a more pop culture light stuff, that more uplifting thing is, well, for us, immediate concerns. Disney gets back the movie rights to X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Right.
They also get the distribution rights back to the first Star Wars film.
How weird is that?
I need 4Ks of the original. Come on.
Well, that could happen.
Come on. You own it now.
So if anyone doesn't know, Fox had them for perpetuity for the original Star Wars. Yeah, forever. For the distribution rights of the original. And that's why pretty much every release since then has been the remasters, it's been the special editions, not the originals. But now Disney owns it. We also get a lot of other franchises now under the Disney umbrella. Aliens, Planet of the Apes, Die Hard, Predator, Kingsman, Home Alone, Independence Day, TV shows like Modern Family, This Is Us, FX, FXX, Fox Animation. So The Simpsons, now Disney property. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, American Horror Story, classic series. MASH is now Disney.
Crazy.
Buffy is now Disney.
Think about that. It's crazy.
X-Files, The Shield, they're now Disney. And on top of that, while Disney was getting ready to launch its own streaming service with Disney Plus, it now owns a controlling interest in Hulu. So it's going to own essentially 2 major streaming services.
And what's funny is a lot of those shows are already on Hulu.
Yeah. No, I mean, the popular theory is Disney will use Hulu for its more mature content, whereas Disney Plus will be the traditional Disney fare
Which
content.
I see that, and we talked about it briefly last week, that Disney's already negotiating with Comcast to get their part of Hulu.
I don't know if that will happen.
If Comcast is still bitter about losing the bidding war for Fox.
Yeah,
because they tried to come in at the last minute and buy it.
Yeah, they did, and that didn't happen.
Did not work out.
Don't mess with the mouse, man.
Right, you don't mess with the mouse. Now, I honestly wanted to see Fox stay a separate studio. That's what I wanted. But since it couldn't, I did not want to go into Comcast.
I wish more of it got forced to be spun off, because part of the deal is, so the way the split up is happening is, the Murdochs that own the Murdoch family that owns Fox are keeping aspects. They are keeping
a lot of TV stuff.
Fox News, Fox Business, basically the Fox News
all the
and sports
thing.
stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of the regional sports networks have to just spin off onto something else. So they don't go to any.
Matt Murdoch is going to be.
Matt Murdoch is staying with Disney. But so that way, you still have the stuff that the Murdochs really care about, the news and sports stuff. The regional stuff will do its own thing, so it's not going to compete with ESPN that Disney owns. But I kind of would have liked to have seen maybe some of the networks switch over, especially broadcast networks, or if those spun off separately. Maybe they didn't have to get all of the television stuff. I would not have liked to have seen the extent that it is getting.
I wish they would have kept FX and FXX. I wish
Fox,
stayed.
Fox Broadcast, that could have stayed away.
Because I was actually thinking about this the other day.
Actually, I think Fox Broadcast. I think the channel, like the main Fox, is separate.
Right.
There's a lot of hassle. This is a very complicated deal.
As a general rule, I really like Disney. I do.
Yeah.
And I was thinking it literally just yesterday. I was thinking I generally like them, and I also generally like Amazon. And you start thinking about it, is everything we do, especially people who live and breathe pop culture, is getting narrowed down to just a few, 2 or 3 companies.
Just wait till Disney buys Amazon.
Well, right?
Or Amazon buys Disney.
Right? And that's the thing that bothers me. Is there's
That's true.
legit 4 companies that take up the majority of what we do on a daily basis, and I don't know how
All
good
I know
that
is
is.
that means less apps that we have to pay into.
Well, I mean, from streaming, yeah, but my thing is it's like competition is not there.
But now, can I get a Spotify account that will get me Hulu and Disney Plus? Because that would be great.
That would be great. That would be great.
I would pay for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm paying $10 for Spotify and getting Hulu for free.
Do we want to talk about Climax?
Oh, well, I mean, we're the only two who've seen it, but we can briefly
Yeah.
say something about
Was
Climax.
that a movie?
You should go see Climax.
Climax is Gaspar Noé's new film. He did Into the Void. Probably his most infamous film is Irreversible. Irreversible was a film that was told in complete reverse with the closing credits. Into the closing credits being the beginning of the movie and it working its way back. So you see the end of the movie before the beginning. Climax has a lot of those elements in it too. But I'll tell you, the thing is, if you can see Climax in the theater, you should go.
You should absolutely go.
You should go. Because basically...
Oh, him. He's the one with the money.
Okay, you
You
should
get paid
go.
on Friday.
Because there is it is a really unique film going experience. Basically, the simple plot of it is a dance troupe having a party.
Do you want? Okay, so you don't go further than that.
Well, but I mean, it goes further than that in the trailer.
You go one step further. And that's
Basically, they somebody has spiked the sangria,
Okay.
and about partway through the movie.
Belcourt, if you're listening, you should
Things
sell sangria at the concession
Yeah, if you're
stand.
showing this movie in your theater, you should have sangria at the concession stand. You should, because I just wanted to
Please.
take a sip of it every time someone in the movie did. Now, don't take this as a negative review because it is not. It is the most positive review I could give it. But there is a point in that movie where, and I'm not somebody who gets bothered by depth and camera work and whatever. I'm just not bothered by that. But when you combine the way the film was shot with what was happening on screen, I legit felt my stomach turn. Like I was.
I mean, that's probably actually is a good compliment. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
it worked.
I was lightheaded.
It worked. I was like, oh my God, what are we looking at? I'm telling you, I haven't seen a movie that's this unique since Into the Void, really. Into the Void was a great film, too.
Void, yeah.
But yeah, that's all you can really say about it.
On
Without
a
spoiling.
We had
side
some-
note, when you said somebody spiked the sangria, all of a sudden I was like, has anybody made a movie about Heaven's Gate? The Heaven's Gate cult?
That's a good question.
I want to see that.
I'm
film-
sure.
I would see that.
I mean, there's
I would
been
watch
plenty
that.
of documentaries coming out about that film. Criterion put out additional.
Yeah.
So you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd watch a film.
Tarantino's 10th movie.
It's
There
like,
you go.
It's like what 4.5 hours? Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, maybe your boy can make the film.
Yeah,
Which
well,
one of your boys?
Hey, boys.
So that they can fail.
Yeah, they can fail.
Make that film nowadays.
So anyway,
All right, so just a few little things to talk about. in
Stranger
TV.
Things season 3
Stranger
trailer.
Things season 3.
Looked
trailer.
great.
I almost got in trouble at work for watching it because I laughed so hard within the first bit.
You know, I made the
My
I made
boss peeked over. He's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
I made the conscious decision when I saw that it was released. It's like, you know what? I'll just wait till Stevens because it'll look better.
We put it on the theater screen in here.
It did. It was great.
Oh yeah.
That soundtrack, I'm sorry, my heart. I mean, the Poison song, the way they implemented it at the beginning, and then the Who song. I mean, the Teenage Wasteland couldn't be a better piece of theme
Right?
music for
Especially
that
for-
era of their
yeah.
lives. Yeah.
I think it's great.
And
I don't
it's
know.
going to deal with some of them growing up too fast and some of them still wanting to be kids.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's gonna be
and
good.
if anything happens to Steve, we riot.
Why is it the one kid? I always forget their names, but the one kid always has to be just sweaty and have his hair messed up in like every episode. In the trailer, I forget what his name is.
Will?
Will?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always sweaty. That kid.
I mean, He's been through a lot.
He has been through a lot. It's
All
fair.
right, I guess you're
I'd
right.
be sweaty too if I was the host for an interdimensional
It's true.
master demon.
So I don't know. We were left with a cliffhanger at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
So this is just more of the monsters coming in from.
I guess we don't know how. It seems like there may have been some time jump, maybe like a couple of years. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we
Maybe
get a
they
glimpse of a
broke
monster
through
in the
a barrier
trailer.
or
That monster
something,
looks a
yeah.
little different than what we've seen before. And
Yeah, it looks like
think-
it's forming. That's really cool.
I think they got some a little bit of a money infusion because that CGI looked a little better than what
I
we've seen.
think
You notice
so.
the lights aren't flickering as hard
Yeah.
this time.
You get
Well,
to
I mean,
see him.
Especially now with the Marvel deal just gone. I mean, Stranger Things is honestly
Their
probably
biggest show.
the biggest show. It's their biggest notable thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited for it. I don't really know what else there is to say at this point except that the trailer looks
very
great.
excited.
Speaking
I was meh on part of the season 2. I didn't like a lot.
Some of
Of
season
aspects
2
of
was
season
a
2.
little rough.
Most of season 2. I
Yeah.
step back and I go, yeah, I'd rather not rewatch that.
Honestly, my favorite parts with season 2 were Dustin and Steve.
Those were good.
that was
I like
the
Steve
best.
was great in
Those-
season 2.
Like I could have
Steve's-
totally gone
Steve's
without
ca-
Jonathan and Nancy.
Oh god,
That-
yeah.
that
Their
whole
arc
storyline
was.
Wait,
I know you
wait.
complained a lot about like the 11 episode where she had her own adventure. Honestly,
I did not.
I
like
completely
was-
agree with Tina though. The Jonathan Nancy side quest stuff was
What's
forward.
who's Nancy? Which
Nancy's
the,
the sister.
Yeah,
the
they're the
one-
older siblings.
The one
of-
who used to be Steve's girlfriend.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I agree. Now the new girl that they added, I liked her. I thought she was a good, like
Max.
a redhead
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, Max.
Yeah, I thought she was great.
Yeah, she was fun.
Now but the sister, 11's sister, what is her number? Like 12 or 10? Or
I thought she was
whatever?
like 7.
7.
She was
Whatever
young.
she
She was
is.
an older.
I didn't like her at all, and I didn't like her
I thought she
story.
was fine, but yeah.
And I hated that they started with it because I'm like,
Yeah, because you were like, wait, what is this? Give me my characters.
yeah, give me
it wasn't. I,
give me a
I,
piece of my
it
characters,
wasn't
and then go
that
to that.
long of a start, so I wasn't that.
Yeah,
worried
that
about it.
and they
Yeah.
ended up wrapping that up fairly quickly. Not as quickly as what you would like,
But,
fairly
yeah, it's fairly-
quickly,
it's
so
fairly
not
quickly
like
and
it
got a
went
bow
the
on it,
entire
so.
season, like the whole Nancy and Jonathan.
Yeah, and it went from her, having that adventure, and the rest of the time she was literally in that cabin the whole time.
And
Yeah.
Bob was amazing.
Bob was great.
Which one was Bob?
Samwise.
Samwise. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was pretty great.
All right.
He was pretty
But
great.
yeah, like for
Also-
the rest of them, I just
Yeah. Also out on Netflix now. If you want to, watch something before Stranger Things comes out on July 4th, Love, Death, and Robots.
Hell yeah!
So here's the thing about this is Hector, who I think he's probably in the chat room now, was all over me about watching it, and then Zach started calling me. He's like, "You gotta watch it,
I didn't
So
call you. I texted you and went, have you seen this?
yeah. So I can't believe it. You guys are always so behind because you guys probably still haven't watched.
No, we haven't.
You haven't watched the Michael Jackson documentary
of
either.
them-
I
Tina
have.
Tina
One of
has.
them is
Thank
literally
you.
5 minutes. You have no excuse.
I even watched the Oprah Winfrey.
Did you?
Special afterwards.
Okay, we'll
Yes.
talk about that in a second. Then
So-
I want to get an opinion. But this
I've been
thing.
wanting to watch this. One of my friends, Wilbur, said that I needed to watch it, otherwise he'd disown me.
Do you guys remember? Zach doesn't know this. I don't know if you guys saw it in repeats or whatever, like I did. But do you remember
He's not
Liquid
wrong.
Television?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Liquid Television, except way more gratuitous and way more like gory.
I don't have to sneak around and watch it when my mom's asleep.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it reminds me of that Aeon Flux kind of Liquid Television era, where every short, and some of them are very very short, some of them very long. There's so many different styles of animation in this thing. Each little short is like really different than the previous one, and some of them are very Black Mirror. And I feel like there's a little bit of Black Mirror influence in the presentation, like the opening and closing credits,
Yes.
the way they are and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's, if you combine Black Mirror with Liquid Television, you would be about what this is. And yeah, just get yourself ready because they don't hold anything back.
They literally are going to be like, this is the shot. Most other animation or film would be like,
Nope, let's cut away.
Let's push in or even cut away. No, this is what's in the scene. This is what's happening in the scene. You're going to see everything that's going on.
And
in the scene.
while aspects
And
of it,
everything that's going on in the scene.
occasionally aspects of it can feel gratuitous, but generally is the sort of overall like vibe of it plays into the story. Like there's one episode where there's some really gratuitous nudity.
Oh,
And
really?
wow,
Really?
does it feel nasty? It feels
It's meant
nasty.
to be nasty.
And
It's
it plays
nasty
into
what's
and
going
the
on in
story is
there.
nasty. So I mean, it fits what they're trying to do. It's super good stuff. I forget the people that are behind it, but
it's David Fincher and Tim Miller. Tim Miller is the director of
that's the name
one
of
of the directors of John Wick.
Mm-hmm. So it's a must watch, and it's just such easy. The vignettes are really short.
I think the longest one's 17 minutes,
and that one's too long. That one annoys me.
That one.
I don't like that one. You won't like every one of them, but how many are there? There's a
18.
lot. There's 18 of them. So you guys need to spend some time watching those.
And they're not all like dark or disturbing.
Some of them are very uplifting, and early on there's a hilarious one, like really hilarious. So yeah, you need to watch that. So Leaving Neverland, you watched it?
Yes.
And what did you think?
Well, luckily I'm seems to be one of the few people who can separate the artist from the music, like from the art from the artist. So like, I don't like Michael Jackson as a person. I think he went through some crap, yeah, but that doesn't excuse a lot of what he did. But I love his music. I love the effect that his music had on the world. Like, I mean, those guys talking about it's like his music got them through a lot of stuff, and his music inspired.
Well, and that's the really funny part in the interviews is as much as they like talk about the negativity and what he did to them and all that stuff, they still talk about their music. Yeah.
So it was very interesting, very graphic,
extremely
and it's
graphic.
supposed to be. Like, I'm very glad they didn't pull any punches. I loved the contrast between the two mothers. Because you have one who's, doesn't want to hear it, doesn't want to think anything bad about Michael, Then you have the other one who's like, no, get him away from me. He is awful. He is a horrible human being. So watching that, and then watching the Oprah Winfrey special, especially with the people that they had in the audience, the therapists who specialized in male survivors, that stuff. Very, very healthy discussion.
Yeah, I mean, I found it to be like really hard to watch. It's impactful.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I see now that's interesting the weeks since it came out is, and I get it. People love him. They grew up with him. It's their childhood. Catherine hasn't been on the show because she's had, her teaching stuff really late.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how she feels about all this because he was such a huge part of her life. So to have that kind of like idol like ripped down like this, they're now the people that are trying to rip the documentaries apart.
And honestly, in my opinion, as much as like I, boast, I love Chris Evans, like he's a human being. You should never hold a human being higher than a human being. Like, if you have somebody up here, sorry, sweetie, that's going to be coming down one way or the other. It's just, how are you going to handle that?
Right.
But my boy.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
So it has been an interesting discussion. Also, Zach and I were talking about this the other day. Is in our society now, especially with a certain age group, it's like, get a ban it. You got to cut that music out. You can't listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And I asked Zach that. I said, "Are you going to cut Michael Jackson out of your playlist?" And he said no. And I am inclined to agree, because if you start doing that, there's a lot of filmmakers, who in their past, now they've been busted and called out, and one of them had to leave the country,
Yeah.
We would have to cut those films out too, and no one's cutting out Kevin Spacey films and all that stuff.
Nobody is cutting out frickin' Chinatown, even
Right.
though,
I'll say this. So, I'm not going to cut out Michael Jackson music because, honestly, he doesn't benefit from it anymore. Like, if I listen to Thriller, he's not going to get money. One, because he's dead, and two, because it's like pennies on the dollar at that point. But now, say R. Kelly, I'm not listening to that man's music for a single second, because he still continues to do what he is, being charged with. He's still a crap human being, and he is still making money off of it. So I'm going to cut out R. Kelly.
So you only give Michael Jackson a pass because he's dead?
Not really. It's more so.
I say that just trying to figure out why
contributing to his actions.
Right.
Like, because R. Kelly, one of the main reasons that he was in jail for so long was because he didn't have enough money to post bail. He had one of his fans bail him out. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things. It's like, if I had that much money to bail out somebody that creepy, why would I do that when I know what he's been doing? Now, I never have that money to begin with. But Michael Jackson would have had that money. Right. There's no question about that. So me buying Thriller is not going to affect his account, just like me not buying Thriller is not going to affect his account. Mm-hmm. But R. Kelly, some of the people who do depend on that fan base and that revenue, I'm going to try and cut off as much supply as possible.
Okay, so what if it's someone who did something like this one time and hasn't done it since? Do you cut them off because they're not doing it now, since you're not contributing to any negativity, or do you still cut it off because they're still alive and working?
It depends on how they handle the situation. Yeah. Like, James Gunn handled it very gracefully.
James Gunn didn't do anything. All he did was write stuff.
Yeah, but like, in the sense of, oh my god, like those jokes were awful, but he sincerely apologized for it before this all broke out. He showed remorse, whereas Kevin Spacey, he actually fulfilled the actions that happened, but his apology was garbage.
His apology was bad.
Yeah. If they show remorse for it and then don't do it again, I can.
So you would still watch like the first X-Men movie, for example, even though Bryan Singer directed that.
Yeah.
Because that's where my mind is how do you draw the line in the sand? Now, I, for one, have decided to temporarily cut off Michael Jackson music, and not because of support or not support or whatever, but when I hear one of his songs come on, I think of the documentary. Yeah. And that's really not like something I want to have come to mind on a daily basis.
Yeah, and that's just personal.
Yeah, so for now, 6 months from now, I'll probably have it back in the rotation. Because I am like you, I believe that from horribleness sometimes comes art, too. I mean, I prefer it if you commit that horribleness on yourself. Yeah. You know, like Jim Morrison or Janis Joplin or one of these musicians.
Or Kurt Cobain or somebody like that who has that inner turmoil and doesn't affect other people.
Right.
But, I mean, in all honesty, I prefer Janet Jackson anyway, so...
Well, she's nasty. So Zach sent me this video, and I mistook his email to me, and he texted me initially, because it's a video where a guy had broken down the documentary and was calling out the filmmaker for being manipulative, because if you watch the interviews, I mean, to cut it short, if you watch the interviews, they were obviously taken at different times.
Yeah. Even
though they're wearing the same clothes. Things in the background change or whatever, and I'm like...
The lighting changes.
That's a documentary. Do you think this heavy footage that they took, do you think they were able to interview this guy all in one sitting?
You can't film a documentary.
No way. No way.
No. We did a 3+ hour interview, and you know how much of that footage went up in the film? 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, and there's one interview that we did that was... I mean, you guys have seen it. It was more than 3 hours. It was an all day. It started at lunchtime, and it was nighttime before we finished. Yeah. And we had to change a lot of stuff. We had to move lights because it got dark outside. We had to move lamps in the background to get better.
That just sounds like continuity errors to me.
It's true. It is.
You know what? Y'all are faking it.
There's a plot hole here. Plot hole.
Y'all are faking the whole interview. They're just actors. They can cry on
if Kevin Feige had produced this, it wouldn't be.
This is true, because he would have just CG'd the heck out of the background and made it all consistent.
All right. Do we want to move on to Study of Google or what's coming out?
We kind of skipped that.
Yeah. So let's just get to that one just real quick so you guys can hear about what that
Zach, I think this is yours.
So Stadia Google is essentially Google wants to throw their hat into the gaming, console gaming sector, to where instead of you lugging around kind of this brick, like an Xbox or a PlayStation or
don't diss on my
games, disc-based or whatnot, and playing them off of the console, you basically own a box that's a lot smaller to where you stream them from Google's HQ.
And it's also on Chrome, basically.
Yes.
You can stream through the Chrome browser. And we had a test for this last year, and it was of Assassin's Creed. There was an Assassin's Creed beta test for this last year.
Didn't Steam try to come out with its own little box?
Steam did come out with it. I think it's hard to get.
Okay, Steambox was Steam's trying to throw the ring into in-home. And then that failed, and what they came up with was, instead of doing Steam boxes, they did in-home streaming, to where it's like, say, for instance, the computer is here, but I want to play in the living room. You could stream
But
Hopefully-
Yeah, I remember
via
people-
Ethernet.
all the
Yeah.
work is happening on the computer.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know what? I own one of those, and it's actually really great. So
But the thing with the Google with Stadia or Stadia or however you say it now
Stevia.
is everything happens
Stadia.
Stevia. Yeah, everything happens on the server side though. Basically, you don't have much processing happening on your actual device.
But
with your
then you're
Chrome browser.
entirely at the mercy of whatever your signal is going to be.
You are, and
Yes,
that
but here's
and
the thing,
I
too, is
watched
you're
their
gonna have
presentation.
The better graphics. You're going to have the better frame rate.
Yeah, everything's going to be top
Problem
notch.
is lag.
yeah,
Yeah.
lag is going to
Well,
be awful.
and if you look, if you Google or Google it.
Google.
I mean, if you look on YouTube, actually, that's the best place. Is you see their
Oh, really?
Yeah, their press announcement.
Thing would be it.
Exactly. Their press announcement, they talked about the reason they did the beta test with such a graphically intense game last year was to push the system and see if they could come up with a tool
Okay.
that allows them to funnel all that stuff into a reasonable stream that can be sent across not just the 1,000 up, 1,000 down. It's supposed to be, I don't know what's in the software, but they're supposed to be able to send it over a lesser signal.
The problem is how far away you're going to be from these nodes to where the graphics are being processed.
Well, I mean, the nodes are that's all gonna happen online though. The real problem is your speed of your internet.
I mean,
That's
no,
the
no,
issue.
This isn't the first kind of thing to come out of this kind of idea of streaming it from a server that's doing it all the work.
Mm-hmm.
There have been different startups that if you're close to one, and it's like a subscription model to where it's like $30 a month, but you automatically get all the upgrades to whatever new technology comes out, so it kind of pays for itself.
Does anybody remember that Nintendo tried something like this many years ago?
The problem is if you were far away from one of the stations where it's at, the lag is bad.
See, the thing about the description on it about trying to get away from the big clunky consoles, like I mean, you mentioned Nintendo. Nintendo kind of solved that. The Switch is not a big clunky console.
It's not.
It's very small.
It's also not as powerful graphically as the stuff that we're playing now.
Yeah, but
No,
if
I mean,
if
it's
you care about
720p
frame
at 30.
rate and-
When
Still,
you play on this screen,
When
you can see.
yeah, when you play on this, it's noticeable. But when you're playing on
Not
the
everybody
Switch
has such a big
screen,
theater, okay?
Yeah, and I want to play multiplayer on the Switch screen with my friends. Oh wait, now I have
Okay.
the size of this big of a screen.
all right,
So
that's
yeah,
fair.
you're right.
Well,
The resolution
and
doesn't
also-
matter. It's that
and to
All
be
right, you're
fair,
you're fair.
Nintendo-
I am trying to play Smash multiplayer on the Switch. You're right. You're right.
Nintendo is not going for that high end market though. They're not going for that
No,
graphic
Nintendo's going for family.
kid stuff
Yeah.
usually,
I
and
st-
a
I
live
still-
party fare is what they do most.
I don't know. I'm just skeptical. Every time Google announces a new project that's
Everyone remembers Google Glass.
Yeah,
there are a lot, Google, because it's what Google does. We throw things at a wall, and if it doesn't work, we're just gonna like let it flounder.
And can I
Google
just say-
Plus, remember by the way, is shutting down permanently on April 1st.
I got an email from them today actually. Go
yeah,
get your stuff.
I
Go
got
get
I
your
got an
stuff.
email too. Yeah, exactly.
So can I just say something about Google and their branding also? Stadia, whatever.
It's a bad name.
What does that?
How does this
sound
imply
like?
video gaming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what I think is actually more interesting than what they did is something that Microsoft did with the Xbox. Microsoft has put an app on the Xbox One now that will allow you to stream games off of Steam from your computer. So if I've bought games or Zach has bought games on his computer, he can bring it over here. We can stream it to the Xbox and play it on there with a controller.
yeah, that's good.
Or we can buy a keyboard and mouse now for the Xbox and play that way. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because it opens up the door for so many more games.
It just makes it essentially a gaming PC at that point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And I'm more interested in that, to be honest.
You know what else you're interested in?
What else am I interested in?
What's coming out on Blu-ray?
All right, so let me tell you, I had an experience regarding this, but let me go over the list first. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is out.
All right.
And it's in 4K.
Mary Poppins Returns is out.
And it's in 4K.
Born in East LA is out. That is an old. Movie is notable because it is the first film that Cheech Marin did when Cheech and Chong split.
Yeah.
That was his solo film. Strip Nude for Your Killer. This movie's been out like 27 times. It's just out again by a different distributor. Detour. This is a very old movie. Now,
That's a good movie.
yeah.
Criterion.
Yep. So on 4K again, Into the Spider-Verse, Lord of War, which is
Oh, that
Nicolas
movie
Cage
was so good.
Yeah, and it's out on 4K now. Mary Poppins Returns, and then Doctor Who, the complete Tom Baker collection is
In
out
4K.
on. No, just for TV.
Okay.
So
you didn't format that well.
I didn't. Well, because I knew it. So yesterday, I went to Best Buy because I wanted that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Steelbook.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Is it out? I mean,
It came out yesterday along with the regular 4K and the Blu-ray.
It came out and then it sold out.
I went in there and it was gone.
Yeah,
No,
I heard.
So I got home. I thought, let me just order it on the Best Buy, because you can order on the Best Buy website and pick up in store, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, let me just order it, or I'll just have it shipped to here. It doesn't matter to me, really. And if you go on their website, it is sold out. Period. Everywhere, in store and online. Same day. What did they do? Did they print 7 of them? So if you go on Amazon, there's some sellers up there reselling it for $200. And it's not even 4K. That's the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
The 4K didn't get a Steelbook release. So did I?
That's
buy
why you gotta
the
wait till later.
Did I buy the 4K one? No, I was just mad. I stormed out.
Wait, how much was it again?
It was $200. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, it's a shame.
Drew Carey is going to come after you now.
Totally. All right, so what do we got on comic books this week?
For Marvel, we have Avengers number 17, Captain Marvel number 3. If you like the movie, it's the new book is only 3 issues out. Guardians of the Galaxy number 3, Thor number 11, and one book I'm most excited about, Spider-Man Life Story number 1 of 6. I'll get back to that.
Oh, I was going to say, what is this?
DC, we have Aquaman number 46, Batman number 67, Justice League number 20, Nightwing number 58, and Teen Titans number 28. In other books, we have Army of Darkness, Bubba Hotep number 2.
Are you kidding me?
It's a team up. Yep.
What?
BPRD,
Oh,
The Devil You Know number 14, Firefly, Bad Company number 1, New Dungeons & Dragons book, A Darkened Wish number 1, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 92. Now getting back, Spider-Man Life Story is this book written by Chip Zdarsky, drawn by Mark Bagley, who a lot of people will know from Ultimate Spider-Man, and also just like a classic 90s Spider-Man artist too.
Right.
The concept is, it's a 6-part miniseries. Each issue takes place in a new decade over the course of Spider-Man's life.
Yeah.
So
wow.
issue 1 takes place in the 60s. It's like 1966, 4 years after he got bit by the spider.
And he's thick.
He is in the cover for the 90s issue has come out, and he's thick because it's 30 years after he's been Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
the whole, like the 70s is him like over a decade of being Spider-Man. The 80s, 20 years. It goes on. That's the whole concept of this book. Is just, what if Spider-Man got bit by the spider in 1962? Let's just see the history.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think it'll be really good for new-ish readers of Spider-Man who are trying to
Gives you that overview of Spider-Man.
catch up on Spider-Man, and it's like, oh my god, that is intimidating.
So cool.
Yeah.
I know. I'm pretty sure like the 80s is probably going to have symbiote stuff. And
Yeah.
it's gonna be really
Yeah.
good. It's like, I'm super excited for this book. I like the team working on it, and I like the concept. It's Spider-Man, so I'm an easy sell. So
Yeah.
Same.
As long as they have it hyphenated, he'll buy it.
It's on my it's on my hold list. So I'm going to get every issue.
I'm going to have to download it tonight.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. All right. So I guess that's your recommended book for tonight.
That's of this week. Yes, Spider-Man Life Story number 1 of 6.
And I'm kind of excited and weirdly fascinated by the Army of Darkness Bubba Hotep team up.
Yeah.
I mean, who is it that put that out? Is it Dynamite?
Dynamite. It's Dynamite.
Dynamite. They're all about that fan service.
Yeah.
And that's definitely fan service.
It's hilarious.
I watched on Shudder last week or week before, I can't remember when now. I watched the entire Friday the 13th documentary. It's almost 7 hours.
Oh,
the documentary.
God.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing, and it covers every single movie, all of them.
Wow. So it's more like a mini series.
No, it's one movie.
Oh God.
It's
Yeah,
one.
it's like Never Sleep Again. It's 4 hours.
It's just 4 hours, which is all the Freddy Krueger stuff. But I watched it, and it just struck me because they were talking about Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
And how they had intended on doing more of those. And for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. Rights reverted and all the other things that happened. But they had talked about, I think it was Dynamite, one of those companies, picked up the story from the end of the movie and continued it.
Yeah, they did the comic. They did Freddy vs. Jason versus Ash.
Yeah.
Did you?
Which is what they had initially wanted to do, was add in Pinhead or Ash or whatever.
Ash in the movie.
One of the original endings for Freddy vs. Jason is in the middle of their big fight on the dock.
Mm-hmm.
Chains were supposed to come up right as they're about to battle each other, get the hit on each other. Chains were supposed to come up, and Pinhead was supposed to raise out. and drag them down.
Right.
So, of course, they didn't get the rides and they had to scrap that, and I was so upset.
It would have been fun.
We don't need like a Universal Monster cinematic universe.
We need a battle royale.
Yeah, we need the like the 80s horror movies, the slasher movie cinematic universe.
And it's so funny because they were talking about this movie, and then apparently it follows through into the comic. I don't know. I'm gonna go back and try and find it now digitally. See if somebody maybe
read it, but it's been so
has it.
years.
But they talked to the director, and his sympathies always lied with Jason. Because he felt like, Freddy was just a bad person. And Jason was somebody who got turned into a demon for terrible things. Jason was a victim
first and then... Whereas Freddy was the perpetrator, then turned into the victim, then back into the...
And so, even the movie, even Freddy vs. Jason, you get those almost naive, quiet moments with Jason. Where it's just like, when he's like looking at the water when he's scared, and Freddy realizes he's scared or something, he's like, oh yeah, Jason's mentally just like a really deranged child.
Right.
Yeah.
And I always felt that way too, so that was so neat. And now that I hear from that documentary that it's continued in the book. Yeah. I'm hoping Comixology has it.
It's somewhere
archives or something.
You can get it on Amazon in worst case.
Yeah.
I still love what they
physical
did
books.
With the Friday the 13th reboot. They changed him from like a child with like mental retardation to just a heavy stoner.
You like that?
Because the guy literally finds like a huge pot plant. He's like, oh hey guys. You gotta protect his stuff.
I guess I gotta watch it again. I guess I need to watch it again. I remember liking it, but I don't know.
I just like that they had Jared Padalecki, who plays Sam on Supernatural, in this movie, and his name was Dean.
That was
which is pretty funny.
So it was very confusing for me.
All right, so we can get the full comic book list
on CultureSmash.tv.
Yep, in the morning, probably later tonight, actually. All right, so let's wrap this thing up. Where do we find you on the internet, sir?
You can find me at all finer social networks, Twitter, Nico Scream, and then, again, posting the list at CultureSmash.tv.
Zach?
You can find... Yeah, thank you for saying my name this week.
You love it, right? I know. It's the only way you can finish.
On Instagram, I'm Master of the 71, and you can find me on Steam, A Dangerous Meat Lunatic. It turns out...
Gonna have to talk to KJ about that.
It turns out Team Fortress 2 is really addictive when you're gone from it for like a couple of years.
All right.
Because, boy, it's addictive.
All right, Gina?
For you.
You can find me Cheddar Popper, CheddarPoppr, on Twitter. And Novinity
Cesspool, the internet.
Yep. Novinity Avalon on Instagram.
All right. I guess that brings us to an end. See everybody next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.